Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Just wanted to do a video today on this custom built planter. As you can see, it's a 2-row planter. So we took 2 single row Haas planters here, which are the green units with the green frame and these black wheels. We bought those, did not need the handlebars that come with them, but we built everything else from scratch. The frame here and the 4-bar linkage mechanism here, and the tongue and the lift, everything was designed and built from scratch. So as you can see, it's a hydraulic lift off the rear outlets on this John Deere 140 H3 garden tractor. The row spacing is 30-inch between the planters. So we started on the design of this last fall, and currently it's June 5th, and we finished this thing about 3 weeks ago, just in time for a tractor show, just to take it and display it as it was. Never actually had tried to plant with it yet until tonight, which if you keep watching the video, you'll see some of the results of that. But these Haas planters are pretty neat. When you buy these, you get, I think, 8 or 9 seed plates for different crops with different hole sizes and hole spacings. I'll show you here. It's a white plate in the bottom. This one has 4 holes. That's the one I used to try to plant this corn. But each unit can pivot up and down independently of each other. Right now it's in the raised position, as you can see. So I'll show you how each one of these planters can pivot up and down independently. I'll just lift straight up here on this back wheel, and you can see that 4-bar linkage right there moving up and down. That gives the planters the ability to float independently of each other, to go over bumps and different contours on the land. So the hitch on this planter is actually adjustable for this tractor with the stock tires and rims. We had to use the lowest hitch height. So if you had bigger tires or a taller tractor, you can use the middle or the upper holes for your hitch adjustment. There's the hydraulic cylinder again. We have grease fittings here for the pivot for the lift, and these totes are just for storage. On the real planter, that would be your fertilizer box or even your seed hopper, I guess, on some of the smaller planters. But like I said, for this one, it's nice to store spare seed in, or extra seed plates. Something else that we did, we built these upper frames here so they actually hinge out of the way. They flip up like this. So you can get to the seed hopper and your depth adjustment knob here to set your depth. When you're planting, you ideally want this frame, the square tubing, you want that to be level with the ground, and that keeps your planters, that keeps both wheels on the ground, so that you're always driving and they can float up and down from there, but they always stay level. So the planter itself, it's about 4 feet wide and 6 foot long from the front of the hitch here to the back of the planter frame. And then the raised position right now, the center of gravity is very close to the travel wheels here. So there's virtually no tongue weight on the tractor. It's very, you can see it there. It's very well balanced on the wheels. And now I'll go into setting up the actual planters themselves. Okay, this is my first time using these Haas single row planters. So let's go ahead and we'll see how it works together, I guess. Flip that out of the way. Take the cap off. We have to figure out which seed plate we need to use for the corn I have. Take the brushes out. Take this little cone out. So the corn I'm going to be planting is the sweet corn. And if you go into the Haas manual here, it will tell you which seed plate to use for what kind of crop. It's telling me for large sweet corn to use number 6 and small sweet corn for number 4. I think number 4 looks about good. It will fit about a seed or 2 in each hole without getting jammed. So we'll go ahead and put that in. So that fits down in there like that. And there's a flat notch, which actually, drives the seed plate. There it is. So now it's sitting flush in there. So put the cone back in there, and then the set of brushes. We can put the wing nut on the top. It says there, do not over tighten. If you tighten that too much, the drive wheel actually will not even turn the seed plate over. So let's get it kind of finger tight, a little snug. That might be a little snug there, so let's back it off a little bit. That's not too bad. So we'll go ahead and we'll try this out, see if it's going to work. Put the lid down here on the floor to catch the seeds. We'll go ahead and dump the pack in here. And we'll see what it does. You can hear it coming out. So it looks like it's dropping 1 to 2 seeds each time, which is good. So next we'll go ahead, we'll get both seed plates in on each side. We'll get them filled up. Probably gonna plant maybe 4 rows tonight. All right, so we just finished planting 4 rows with this. Made 2 passes, and it looks like I'm gonna need to add some weight or down pressure to each one of these planters. And a few weeks ago, I just did like a dry run. I didn't have the opening wheels in the ground. Everything worked just fine. The drive wheel was spinning. And then I lowered the opening wheels, like I said, about 1.5 inches to plant with. And that was enough to keep the back wheel off the ground. Wouldn't really want to drive. So I had to have some assistance hold down the back ends of the planters. Everything seemed to work okay from there. So the plan is I'm going to add a spring assist for down pressure. I have a hole here and down here. So I'll run an extension spring from these 2 points. That will help hold down pressure on the planter. I'll probably build a little weight rack back here, something small where I can just add some weights so that while I'm not planting, I don't have the weights on there. And then if I think I need to, I might weld cleats on the outside of the drive wheel. But we'll see. Maybe I'll try the springs first with the weights, and then if that seems to work fine, then I won't need to weld anything to the wheels. I do have to wait and order more seed to make my final 2 passes, or my 2 rows. So in the meantime, I think I'll get the springs on and figure out some weight ideas for the back. And then maybe on the final pass for the last 2 rows, I'll get some video footage of this thing actually working so you guys can see it. But everything else worked pretty well. Everything tracked pretty well. Nothing was wanting to bend or, move on me. The planters seemed to hold their row spacing pretty well. There's not much flex, side to side. Everything seems pretty tight. Everything with the planters worked actually pretty great. I had just enough seed left. They're all emptied out now, but I had just enough to make my 2 passes. And so yeah, everything with the planters working pretty good, pretty happy with everything. Make those final couple modifications, and we'll give it one last test, plant those last 2 rows. Here's one last thing I wanted to show you guys. This tractor's turned all the way to the left as sharp as it will go. And we designed this so that the tongue actually clears the back tire, which is nice. So if you were coming to the end of a row and you wanted to cut the tractor around really sharp, you would actually clear and nothing would hit. There's plenty of slack in the hydraulic lines to make a sharp turn like that too, which is nice. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.